Welcome back to Rick's Scale Model Fix and part 7 of Kinetic's 1/48 Scale Pucara build. So you might be wondering what I'm doing with an aircraft weapon set from Hasegawa on the bench, but unfortunately, as we'll see in a moment, Kinetic don't really include any form of weaponry in the kit for the Pucara. So we've had to dig out one of these. So it's dated 1987 and we're going to be using the Lao 3 rocket launchers. So as you can see from the kit, it's certainly showing its age, and the parts breakdown is very simple. We've got the tube, if you like, the two halves. We've got the front and rear covers which are ejected during the firing sequence, and then we've got two inner faces that we can replace the caps with if we want to show the weapon as discharged. So to that end we built these up. So we did one without the fairings and the other two with the fairings. So these will just need the couple of decals applying that are supplied in the kit and a little bit of weathering up, bearing in mind that the weapons wouldn't really be on the airframe that long to become severely weathered, but we can add a bit of interest to those. Now I've decided for the centerline tank to put one of the smaller fuel tanks that's supplied in the kit on the centerline pylon. So going back to the kit instructions, we can see what's actually supplied in the kit. So we've got the centerline pylon with a couple of sway braces. That's been built up and added to the model. It provides two small drop tanks and one of the larger Aero 1D tanks, which I believe are the same as used on a Skyhawk. Where the kit does excel is in its replication of the BIU 42 triple ejector rack. These are just absolutely sublime. The detail that's included on these is really good. But unfortunately for us, we won't be using them in this build. But well worth keeping hold of for something that would possibly need those. They're a kit in their own right and they're superbly detailed. So we have done quite a bit of work off camera just to speed things up a little bit. So we have added all the lower surface small breakable bits with the exception of the circular hatch. We've added the aerial masts, we've added those flaps, with cartridge ejector chutes for the guns and that centerline pylon. They just need a wash applying to be blended into the airframe, and we've made up those underwing pylons which incorporated the flap hinges, and we've added the clear lenses to the front. So the build is really progressing now. So there's a few small jobs to do, so I'm going to finish off those weapons and we'll see what comes next. But I think it's going to be the upper surface small add-on bits and a few remaining decals, and then a matte coat, and then we'll look at the final weathering. So we've done a little bit more work off camera to the Pucara, and we've added the rocket launchers in their unfired and unprepared state with the ejectable covers both in place front and rear. That small centerline fuel tank that's included in the kit, and we've applied a matte varnish and closed that circular access hatch, and I've left that slightly a different colour just so it stands out. We've added the aerials to the rear of the airframe. So these have been secured in place and made with easy line, so if they are accidentally caught they just stretch. And we made the isolators from white glue PVA and made it sort of form a small bead to replicate the ceramic isolator found on airframes. Canopy glass has been secured with some of the photo etch placed inside. Unfortunately I did lose the rear view mirrors, they pinged off into the ether, never to be seen again. Control columns and ejector seats been added to conclude what has been a wonderful project. Well, that concludes the IA58 Pucara build in 1/48 scale from Kinetic Model Kits. The kit comes highly recommended, the build is absolutely fabulous, fit is fantastic, and what more can you want? Certainly looks really fetching in its early Falklands era camouflage. And I just must take the moment to pass on my sincere thanks to all at Kinetic Models and the design team for producing such a wonderful kit, and thank you very much for your continued support and the product samples. So until next time everyone, please look after yourselves, stay well and take care.